Okay, this is a part of what I was doing the 5D series, but I'm going to have to hold off on that. For one, it's too big. I can't show the equations on the phone. It's about 5 hours long to work through it all. And, it's hyper layered, man. And you have to see it all at one time because that's what's going to really blow your mind. It really would blow your mind and it would unlock your mind. That's the thing. That's what's so beautiful about it, is that once you view it, it actually can give you the power of increased spirit sight, believe it or not. Some of you are already getting it already by some of the things that we've been talking about and how we talk about it and some of the ways that we're looking at the world. You're beginning to make these connections of what seem to be vast amounts of information that were separated from some sort of static flux. One of my favorite expressions is that not many people understand, but there's much static flux between supposed informational constants. Okay? Which basically means that there's tons and tons and tons of bits of information floating all around the world, theoretically. But for whatever reason, people cannot unify these bits of information. That would be the static flux. So there is much static flux between supposed informational constants. That's because people have lost the ability to see the root. And then every piece of fruit, every branch, every twig, every piece of bark is all going to come as the original product, work, and labor of the root. So it doesn't matter what piece of fruit, what stem, what branch you show, you can always go back to the root. And you can backtrack it and you can follow it. So it's an easy way to begin to understand how to see is to see that everything is connected. So we can do that by looking at the cross. The cross is going to show us something here very important. First off, we need to see the cross for what it is. The cross is a symbol of material man. Not only does it make the shape of a man, but it represents the material world itself. In reality, it is a dimensional plane model with 6-dimensional perspectives. The first 4-dimensional perspectives are what we're trapped in now. That's the 4D. 2 more dimensional perspectives have been added into this 4D as the spirit quality has been applied to the material matter, and that's going to be love and faith. Love and faith is the spirit, but love, the spirit has to manifest into 2 forms as it enters into the matter. It comes in full force as love. Okay, and which is God's gift to you by giving you the Spirit. It's done out of love. But once the Spirit, which is the fullness of God and all the potential therein, enters into the material form, it becomes limited by the ability of the consciousness to receive its potentials. So then what happens to the love is that the love begins to transmute and it turns itself into faith. And it now is being offered to you as the full potential of God, even though you cannot realize it in its fullness in the material world. He allows you to realize it by faith. So now we find out that the spirit becomes the quality. So if we have the material world, Jesus Christ could be seen in his equation. His spirit quality has been applied to the limits of the material quantity. So this material world, once the spirit quality has been applied to it, this quality of spirit instantly qualifies you to overcome the material limits. So as we see it like this, we would say, Jesus as a man overcomes the material world. Anybody that believes in Jesus has this spirit quality to overcome the material also. We find out that one day we will have an exalted spirit. We travel the straight and narrow, and we are God's children. Now, if we were to look at the other path, we're going to find out an exact mirror for the same information, but it's an opposite. And so, take Jesus out the man, and the material overcomes him. So people that don't believe in the spirit-saving quality of Jesus are nothing more than mere material quantity. And then they themselves actualize the limits. We find out that they don't have an exalted spirit, they have an exalted ego. They don't travel the straight and narrow, they travel the broad way. And then instead of being God's children, they believe they're gods.